Leader of his party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, this bill is very disappointing indeed because it delays the implementation of the National Building Code from 2015 for another year. Mr. Speaker, we've had a terrible experience with building code legislation in this legislative assembly going back to Sean Graham's jurisdiction, your administration, when he brought in the Building Code Act. It never got implemented. I'm assuming because of all kinds of opposition or what have you, but it never got implemented. Finally, a Building Code Act came back. It was supposed to take effect earlier this year, reasonably, because of the timing. Reasonably, government extended it to take effect at the beginning of 2022, reasonably, because just of the timing of ordering materials and so on didn't make sense. But now to delay it another year means more buildings will be designed and going up in ways that are going to waste a lot of energy. Because, Mr. Speaker, the 2015 Building Code for houses and larger buildings as well has important, essential energy efficiency standards that are not in the old Building Code, Mr. Speaker, that would result in much less energy waste, lower bills for the owners, and obviously reduced carbon footprint, Mr. Speaker. Similarly, along with the 2015 building code that was to be adopted beginning January, but now not till January 2023, there also was supposed to be the adoption of the 2011 National Energy Code for buildings for commercial and institutional and multi-unit residential properties, apartment buildings. Again, for the same reasons, Mr. Speaker, this would make a huge difference in their overall energy demand and their carbon footprint. We are in a climate emergency, and buildings should not be being constructed to lax energy efficiency standards. And I might say that it's only the 2011 version of the National Energy Code for buildings that's being adopted, even though there are two more recent versions of that code available. So, Mr. Speaker, the question, I guess, is staring us in the face. Why are we not ensuring that buildings, whether they're houses, apartments, or institutional commercial buildings in this province, are being built to the energy standards of energy efficiency that are predicated by both the National Building Code for 2015 and the most recent National Energy Code for buildings? What is the problem? We have a climate crisis. We have high costs of heating and cooling, Mr. Speaker, rising electricity costs always, and the part of the solution, Mr. Speaker, is to get those costs down through much more energy efficient buildings. We have the technology, we have the tradespeople, we have the knowledge and expertise in New Brunswick. We have a tremendous building sector. When we think about home buildings, home builders, we've got the New Brunswick chapter of Canadian Home Builders who have done a tremendous amount of training in energy efficient construction, Mr. Speaker. They're more than ready to deliver on the kinds of construction that is required in the 2015 Building Code and even in the most recent National Energy Code for buildings. But, Mr. Speaker, those won't be requirements. So buildings are going to get designed that are much more energy wasteful than they should be, much more costly to operate than they should be, with much bigger carbon footprint than they should have. So, Mr. Speaker, there's no way can I support this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.